Let me try this again. Cause I had to take my phone off with the people calling. Um, so I'm gonna start back over with the crawfishing, okay? I told y'all about living off the land and my daddy, not having a check paying job. But we worked, y'all. We worked just as hard. And living off the land, it was it was a job. So when people say, oh, I'd like to live like that, sometimes I don't think I can. So I'm gonna start this story again because I'm gonna keep this live, and I kept my phone off because a while ago the live went off because of the calls, and I'm learning, y'all. I'm learning. Anyway, let me show you this. This boat right here, this was the boat that we used. This is a kind of boat that's kind of hard to handle. And the reason why I say that because, see, it's a long aluminum skiff with a 50 on it. And when you go wide open and that tiller handle, and if you just push or let loose of that tiller handle, that motor's going one way and the boat is going the other way. You are goner, child. You are goner. You gone. And of course, I had to learn that since I was little how to drive this kind of boat. Not only that, but y'all, it's long, and it's made like that because it goes through the lilies, and you got to get through all the trees, and you got to get, because of course you're gonna hit the trees, and you're gonna hit them booskios, and you don't want that to bust your boat. So they had the aluminum skiffs to go through the sloughs, the swamp, whatever it is, y'all. Now, we had to prepare for that just like anything else. We get the crawfish traps out. We get them ready. You got to open them up. You go set them out in wherever you're going to put them at. And when you pulled up to a crawfish trap, and it looked like this right here, that was dollar signs. That's when it was pretty, because guess what? Some crawfish seasons you didn't catch much, you know? So when we pull up like this, and look, you see the bait right here in there? What happens is, y'all, we used to use that old porgy fish. That old porgy fish with some, what they call dog food. I don't even know what that's made of, to be honest with you. I just know what we called it. But that was a good season right here. They also had them long boats, not only to get in the sloughs, but to hold a crawfish while you're gone. This was another good season. See all that weight holding it down? Now, each a sack of crawfish, for the most part, you can fit 40-something pounds in there, okay? That's about the most you're gonna get. And you gotta kind of push it down a good little bit to tighten it up and get, a lot in there. Sometimes, some years, depending on how good it was, we used a trough. A trough it was two sides to a aluminum trough, to where you would pick out the big ones and the small ones to where you knew, to keep the different sizes, because some people would buy the big ones to ball, some people would keep the little ones for the stews and the gumbos and stuff like that, the etouffee. So we would have select sizes just like crabs, y'all. And there's a video on my TikTok that I posted. I want to post it on here too, of me and my boys. The last year we was going crawfishing, we was able to go crawfishing. And when I used to be the helper, that's one of my favorite videos, because now my kids want to help us. And they got to experience a lot of that. This wasn't too great of a season right here. It was still good, but this is when they would hit and miss. Some traps would have some traps wouldn't, And it all depends on what the dock would buy for. So when we sold our crawfish, it was whatever the dock bought for per pound. So if we had a 40-pound sack and it was 90 cents a pound or $1 a pound, you know, that's how much they based it off of. And we sell to the dock. And the dock is what sells to restaurants and people and whatever it is. And of course, because that was our job and our money and our way of living, we ate it a lot too, y'all. See, this is an old picture. When I tell y'all we bought crawfish every time we came in, probably, we did. So that's probably why it's my least favorite seafood, y'all. A lot of people love crawfish, but being raised on it and eating it whenever it's in season, because that's what we had, it's my least favorite. Least favorite. Here's another picture to show. Now, granted, you had to have a fisherman, you know, a license to sell that, because just like anybody else, the tax laws and stuff like that, when you get paid, you know. And a lot of people are, oh, that's a nice way of living. That's a nice way of living. It is, because we're away from society. But it was some work, y'all. It was a lot of work. So don't think these crawfishermen that go out and, you know, they back by 12 o'clock that they got it easy. It's not. It's not at all. And I was little, being my daddy's helper. And so did my siblings. My siblings went out there to help. My mom did. I mean, that's just who, as a family, that's what we did. But I can grant you, I had probably man arms when I was little. Because it'd be my daddy in the back driving, picking up the traps, emptying them in the trough. I'd be on the other side, getting my bait ready to put it in a trap. And when a sack would get full, he would tie it up and he would have to throw it to me over the trough. So when we caught 60 sacks, I was manhandling them 60 sacks daily. Okay. Now, I'm going to show you. When we prepared for it, y'all, we would make our own crawfish traps. This is a mini one. See the little crawfish in there? This is a little mini trap. So what happens is, let me show you how that works. Come on. See that they got two flutes right here, two holes. And a crawfish would go in either way. To go in for the old pogey bait, y'all, for the old fish. And when they would go in, they couldn't get back out. So when we would put these things on a tree, and they were much bigger, just minis. As a matter of fact, I hand make these, y'all. And I'm going to sell this on my website. Because, you know, a lot of people sell different stuff, but you don't catch many people who can make them anymore. And I want something special from Louisiana. Something, you know, to show true Louisiana Cajuns. But anyway, when we pick it up from the tree, y'all, the crawfish will be all in here. It would be the bait. And sometimes the snakes and all kind of stuff would be in the trap. So when that trap was full like this, full of crawfish, when it was full like this, we would take the crawfish trap. You open it up right here. There's one side that stays closed. There's one side that opens. You open it up like this. And you would shake the crawfish out, okay? You would shake it out, and of course their claws would get stuck, and you got to pull them out if you got to, but you keep shaking till they fall out. And when they fall out, you have to separate. Now imagine throwing all this in a little bitty trough. All these pinches coming after you. You have to separate them. And you have to get the bait, because you can't let the bait go in a sack of crawfish. Okay, you can't do that. So We would separate it, get the bait out, throw the bait out, or if they had a snake, usually the snake would try to go in to eat some of them. So the snake would stay stuck in some of the holes. And you had to watch when you pulled the trap up, because if a snake was right here and you didn't see it, it would come after you, or it would try to come after you. Not only from these traps though, y'all. They would fall out them trees. See, if you hit a tree or you hit a buskio, and for those that you don't know what a buskio is, a cypress knee, y'all, a cypress knee. But if you hit a buskio, and if snakes, or you hit the tree, them snakes will come in your boat real fast. And they're not scared of you, I promise. They done put me in a bait a couple times. Because see, whenever when my daddy would open up this, y'all, and he would empty it out, I would be on the other side of the trough, ready with my bait, to where all he had to do was hold it like this, and I'd put the bait in, he'd close it back up, and hang it back in the water. And plenty of times, every time we hit something, guess who went flying in the bait box? Because while I'm waiting with my bait right here, I got the bait box on the side of me or behind me so I can have it ready for when he would empty a trap. Boy, and I stunk after a day of crawfishing, yeah. I would fly in that bait box all the time. Boy, and it would make me mad. Oh, Lord, it would make me mad. And we would go round for round. So, when it came to crawfishing, it was definitely a job. People love to eat it and celebrate it, but I'm going to tell you what, if you know a fisherman, tell them thank you, because it ain't easy. And we sent to a lot of suppliers. The docks, sometimes by people we know, but for the most part, it go to the dock to where we can have it all written down and all that good stuff. So on my website, when I bring it up, this is going to be one of my items on there. A mini crawfish trap that are handmade, y'all. A handmade, and it's the real crawfish wire. When I was little, we would sit in a production line pretty much. My daddy, my mama, my siblings, to where each one of us had a job making these things. And it wasn't my favorite. I wasn't my favorite at all, because all the kids are playing in the neighborhood, and here we are. We got to sit here and make crawfish traps. Little did I know this would be so unique one day, and people would want to know about or hear about it. Little did I know that not many people knew about it. Okay? But it wasn't the funnest for me, because I hated doing crawfish traps, because it really hurts your hands. When you gotta push these loops in, or you gotta twist these in, it is a good bit of work to make a crawfish trap. But I'm gonna have this on my website to sell, because people like to put them on their man camp, or just in general. It's a Louisiana, it's a Cajun item, and not many people can make them, y'all. I want to think of some of the questions I was asked about crawfish. Oh, yeah, when it comes to boiling crawfish, it's not my favorite to eat boiled, but I can cook up some crawfish. I love crawfish cooked. So I'll sit there and I'll pick and peel so many sacks to put up in my freezer, because my favorite is crawfish etouffee. I'm almost like Bubba Gump with the shrimp, y'all. Crawfish this, crawfish that, crawfish this. It's crazy. Crawfish with eggs, crawfish with... But my favorite is crawfish etouffee and smothered crawfish. Which is etouffee supposed to be smothered. But etouffee, the word etouffee got beautified, if that's what you want to call it. So, when people say etouffee, some people add a red gravy to it. Beautified, if that's what you want to call it. So, when people say etouffee, some people add a red gravy to it, and I do that. But in all honesty, it was, back then it was smothered crawfish with onions. Crawfish with crawfish. So, yeah. That's my crawfish story. And if y'all have any other questions that I didn't answer in here, feel free to ask, and I'm going to do the best I can to answer. And as a matter of fact, y'all, these that I'm selling, I got my boys. My daddy showed me my boys. I let them have some quality time, and they got to learn how to make them. So, um, some of them that y'all get, my boys are gonna help me, cause I still try to help my boys. You know what? While I'm saying this, see now I can answer some of y'all, cause when I go to telling my story, I can't always answer, cause I'm a forget. But hey, y'all, um, crawfishing is becoming. That's why Cajuns are dying out. This is why the Cajuns are dying out. But you know what? I think I'm gonna make that another story, another video, because that's a whole nother story to add to that on why the Cajuns are dying out, and it has a lot to do with crawfishing and hunting and all of that stuff. So, but a lot of folks don't know about sucking the juice out of the head. Yeah, a lot of people don't know about a lot of things. But when you peel the crawfish, a lot of people, and believe it or not, being from Louisiana, I ate a lot of spice in my life. But I don't care to have stuff like that that's spicy. A lot of people like spice to where it make them, their nose run, their eyes cry. Nope, I'm trying to enjoy my crawfish. But when you peel it and you suck the head, you get all the juice out. A lot of people even take the back off. The back with the vein. Mm-mm. It's going, I'm going straight to crawfish, y'all. I ain't pulling nothing off. So you suck the head and you pinch the tail. And a lot of people freak out because they can't believe that you can eat that. Because it's considered a mud. Because it come out the mud. We were so Cajun when we was little that when we had our school function, one of the things was, I know, it's crazy. But we had a crawfish race. So when it came time for our little functions at school, we would go in our yard because they'd go to school. I had to go to school. When I would go in the yard, um, the mud holes to get my crawfish out of there. And I would take it to school, and then you let your crawfish go in a line, and it would back up. It would walk, and whoever's crawfish won, that's who won. Another question I got, y'all, and the more I keep thinking about it, the more I keep coming up, was about the blue crawfish. A lot of people like the blue crawfish. We used to come across a lot of them. We'd take them home. But one of my favorites, it was the crawfish that would carry the babies. All the babies, hold on, let me get this crawfish out of here. All the babies would be stuck under here, and it would be a big old thing full. And my favorite thing would be to take it and watch when the babies would come off. And you'd have the little bitty crawfish everywhere, everywhere, everywhere. That's what I would like. But we had a few blue crawfish. So there's the rest of my crawfish story, y'all. And whenever the season come back around, oh, we're gonna be having plenty more. But if it keeps dying out, we can't, because you can't keep up with society of the amount of money that they're paying. That's what sucks about it. And that's why I don't do it no more. Because I would go do it to help my daddy out, to finish what he started, but I can't pay bills with that. In today's world, you got to be able to pay your bills. So, and on my daddy's behalf, he's okay where he's at. I mean, he can't do it no more, and I can't do it for him. Because again, that's not how the world works. I have to work, I have to do all this other stuff. But he's taken care of. He's good, y'all. The redder the better. To me, like the big. Oh yeah, I like the big ones. And some years, see when that water come down, that fresh water come down, some years them crawfish look like lobsters. That's some good crawfish. And then you got them little baby ones that ain't. I use that for crawfish stews and stuff, like the little ones, or a gumbo. I don't do the big ones in my food like that. I only boil them. And somebody else asked what we put in a bowl. Um, Potatoes, onions. Sometimes I put some broccoli, sausage, hot dogs, garlic, mushrooms. Oh yeah, we load it down. We load it down. Sometimes they even put peanuts in there to ball into the seasoning. And of course, y'all, I gotta have my dip. My mayonnaise and my ketchup. I gotta have my dip with it. So, listen to them kids. So if anybody got any questions, y'all let me know. Because I tried to cover everything that I could in here. You know, talking about crawfish season. And once the season's over, that was it. So my daddy would hold on, mom and dad would hold on to the money we made, you know, to try to make it to the next season of what we could catch. And those seasons are coming up too, y'all. I just wanted to touch base with the crawfish season because that was one of the biggest. And on my stuff that's coming out, I got a crawfish on there representing me. So I'm gonna see y'all in the, oh, I got a question. Hold on. Do you make your own roux, homemade? Oh yeah, babe. Oh yeah, I make my own roux. Yep. And I don't know who said, somebody came on there and talking about it take a whole day to make a roux. No, it don't. No, it does not. No, my daddy don't crawfish anymore. He don't work. He don't. He's living off the little, you know, the little stuff that he paid his little taxes for. But yeah, I can make a quick roux to make food taste, you know, decent, good, and I can make a roux that the longer you know, to make it longer and slower. Either way it go, I'm gonna have something come out of that. So, all right, y'all. Well, I guess I'm gonna see y'all later. Thank y'all for coming and thank y'all so much for supporting me, y'all. It means a lot. From a small town Cajun that didn't think that would ever happen. Appreciate y'all.